first meeting between the Vancouver Goldeneyes and the Toronto Sceptres as we welcome you inside Scotiabank Arena for the third edition of the Battle on Bay Street. Here are today's starting lineups presented by Scotiabank, proud to be the official bank of the PWHL.
Hannah Miller will take her lineup first, and why not? She has been good in this building over the last 2 years. Can she do it again in a different jersey? And for Troy Ryan and the Sceptres, Jessie Comfer is going to move to the middle. Emma Malte goes to the wing with Daryl Watts. Shelton and Fast stay as a pair.
10th start of the season for Emerence Mashmeyer, her 10th as well against Toronto. And how about this, her first battle on Bay Street with Ottawa. Mashmeyer was 5-4-1 against the Sceptres. All 5 of those wins in regulation, and they are looking to get back to their winning ways. Meanwhile, for Toronto, third straight start for Reagan Kirk. Despite only allowing 2 goals in each of her last 2 games, Kirk's only win this season goes back to Game 1 in Minnesota, but this is her second battle on Bay Street as she backs up that 4-2 win over New York last season. Jessie Comfer for Toronto. A new Canadian rivalry begins today as Sophie Jakes will put it in the Toronto zone to start.
Just doesn't quite hit that red line. Sophie Jakes is just looking to flip the puck in, so this could be a big one for Toronto to start things off.
Jessie Comfer, second game, wins that face-off off the pad of Mashmeyer. So first shot coming from the Sceptres in this one. Malte, who scored the only goal Wednesday in Boston, and it came 6-on-5, so not at even strength. They've really struggled. Malte drops it down, Comfer in front as Harmon off the bench swoops in. Keeps it in the zone, drops it down for Malte. Thompson with the pressure. Claire Thompson leading her team in points.
That's not exactly what you want, is it? That your top 2 leading scorers on a team are both your defenders. Great to get your defenders on the board. However,
nice feed from Kirk to get the puck to Turnbull. Toronto stays in the Vancouver zone. There's so many connections here. Former teammates, Gabby Rosenthal in her second battle on Bay Street. She was with New York last season. Boreen at the red line finds Paquig, gets the shot off. It's steered into the far corner. Turnbull there to collect. In the circle, Dalton throws it back to the boards. Claire Dalton looking to get going as a Sceptre. No goals yet for number 42.
She's bumped up the lineup playing with Blair Turnbull, so maybe that's just what she needs. Troy Ryan thinks Dalton and Turnbull could really complement each other.
She had an incredible inaugural season with Montreal, which also meant she played in that battle on Bay Street game in year 1. Vanisheva drives towards the net, takes it around. Kept to the outside. A nice play for Nurse, but Shelbin takes it. And a Shelbin named to Sweden's national team. Now Van Weeren setting up for a 2-on-1. A big block from Nina Job-Smith in her third PWHL game. Karvinen in the slot to take it away.
Van Weeren, what a great job she does through the neutral zone to get body position, use her size, win that battle.
Another chance for the Sceptres. As in came Renata Fast, still looking for her first goal of this season.
Chances either way to start, though, and you start talking about these teams generating offense. They've done that so far. Just now, it's a matter of shooting the puck into the net.
We're looking forward to this matchup. Miller. Comfer at the blue line, trying to keep it in the zone for the Sceptres. Malte from the high slot. Looks for support. There's the one-timer off the pad. Watts trying to corral the puck. Sceptres with some great passing. Flanagan puts it down off the end boards. Watts going off for the change. Harmon waiting at the near point to flip it down.
That's 3 turnovers trying to come out of their zone for Vancouver. It's been a theme all year.
Zone exits have been troubling, and they didn't get much time this week, even though they were home to practice. It really was one time on the ice.
On that one time, they worked on forecheck. So a lot of things that they need to get on the same page with. Brian Nadolski saying forecheck was a priority when we only had 1 skate.
Oh, big collision, Van Weeren and Boreen. Dalton along the far wall. Double teamed as Bell gets her stick on it. Channel Watkins. Oh, leaves it there, and in comes Connors. Loose puck now. Channel Watkins takes care of it. For a stretch play, but it gets sent down deep. Helpful though for the Goldeneyes as they look to stay in zone. McQuaig along the near wall. Down below the goal line, the rookie Hannah Baskin getting to work, of course playing in her first battle on Bay Street. Hjalmarsson looking to produce here for the Sceptres. Oh, a big chance for Spooner, and it's just wide to the right. Another chance as she throws it on an angle.
Again, you're just looking at turnover after turnover coming out of their zone.
Shelton sends it down for Emma Gentry. Back to number 20. And Karvinen will be patient. Throws across ice. As Emma Greco there to dump it.
Fast with a really nice step up in the neutral zone.
Hjalmarsson working it along the near wall.
Well, Toronto has had a number of chances, and most of these have come off of turnovers. You know, you look at the offensive woes of both of these teams. Well, their forwards aren't really getting it done. Vancouver right at the bottom of the list, and thankfully for them, their D are contributing a lot to their offense.
Jen Gardner, 5 points on the season, pressed up against the boards as Miller looks to help her out. They're working to retrieve. Sceptres now battling to get out of their own end. Get the puck into the neutral zone. Nearly taken away at the blue line, but Flanagan got an empty netter in this building last year. She pushes the puck forward now in the neutral zone. Zanin with a great touch to set up Daryl Watts. Daryl Watts. First shot denied by Claire Thompson, who got a stick on it. Kick save from Mashmeyer, more than 5 minutes into this game, and no shots yet for Vancouver. Toronto swarming. Ella Shelton can't hold in the slot. Fast looking for another way in. Cuts through under heavy traffic. Malte. She gets pinned up against the boards.
I think she was just trying to put that puck in deep, and you put Emma Malte on the wing, and that's what you're looking for. Pucks in behind the defenders, and then let her go to work.
Watts, who just had that chance, finds Malte. She gets the touch over to Jessie Comfort. Jessie Comfort getting her first pro goal in the very first battle on Bay Street. Also happened to be the game winner.
Eager to see what she can bring back to the middle of the ice. And again, I know Troy Ryan likes Emma Malte on the wing because it unleashes her to get in on the forecheck, and she may be one of the best in the league at being a pest, getting in and disturbing. So you get Daryl Watts on that line, and the two could do some good work together.
Nurse kicked the puck, but out comes Turnbull. Not quite, as Channel Watkins took away her space along the wall. That helps, but Turnbull looking for that turnover on the blue line. Savannah Harmon brings it in, takes it from the circle, pulls, shoots, and it's steered into the far corner. That got bodies in front. Turnbull. Shots 4-0 so far for the Sceptres. Still looking the first goal of the game. Last year, the battle on Bay Street against New York. Toronto scored in every frame. Gentry has to push it off the boards to herself. Vancouver's pass goes to Renata Fast. She finds Shelton. Behind the net of Mashmeyer, Bard gets a touch. Here's Natalie Spooner. For Fast, Gentry on the doorstep. Miller getting tangled up with the Sceptres, and we have our first penalty of the game. A hooking call. And Van Wieren will take a seat in the box.
Savannah Harmon with a shot on goal for Toronto. Claire Van Wieren to the penalty box on a hooking call. So Toronto back to the penalty kill, and she kind of hangs on and goes for a ride. Hannah Miller's trying to take that puck out of the zone. Could have called it a hook, maybe a hold. She grabs on with that left hand, but either way, she's going to go to the box. And This is a Toronto team that has taken way more penalties than they've had power plays, and especially over this 4-game losing streak where they've been in the box 10 times and they've only had 5 power plays. So something they're going to want to clean up. It's certainly not a recipe for success.
Power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel Paper Towel. Power through tough messes. They won that for Toronto, but they can't hold as Jakes gets set up over to Miller. Vancouver power play, kick save from Kirk. Fast. Below the goal line. Gardner trying to set it up the wall. Kept in the zone now by Izzy Daniel. And there's that one-timer from Jakes. You knew it was coming. Came into this game 42 shots through 11 games.
She gets her shots through. She's potent
so
from the point.
Powerful. Vancouver. 5-on-4. Jakes now to Daniel. She puts it on the body of Kirk.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sophie Jakes, I mean, her at the point, she is absolutely dangerous, and it looked like Hannah Miller maybe was going to get the first thing going here. She throws this one to the front of the net. They just can't connect on that. That was a really nice look. And then Sophie Jakes, who has been so good from the top, and she's got a real gift at getting shots through. This one, of course, is Daniel from the flank. Jakes recognizes she doesn't have the lane, but you're right, 40, I think 3 or 44 shots now she's put on net over the course of this season. It's been pretty impressive.
That was a good clear for the Sceptres from their end as Vancouver looks for some more entry. Flanagan trying to shake off Miller. Miller in her 65th career game. The battle on Bay Street. A great way to kill this penalty. As time winds down, but still plenty here. 40 seconds remaining for the Goldeneyes. Maureen looking for room. Looking back is Bell. Thompson also with a great shot. Number 42 sends it down. Vanisheva in the right circle, takes it all the way up. Another chance for Thompson, rather. Bell to Vanisheva. Over to Thompson. And that one's high. 5 seconds remaining now.
Well,
another good clear for the Sceptres.
That's where they're going to generate their chances from if they're going to get them on the power play. It's coming from the point. Both Thompson and Jakes, who are very good, just really can't generate anything on that first look.
Back to even strength. Kirk comes out to play it. So 3 shots on the power play. That's the first 3 of the game for the Goldeneyes. The Sceptres now have 5. Well, Vancouver did have 3 blocked shots prior to that power play. Out comes Maggie Connors, trying to get ahead, but Channel Watkins reaches the puck first. Turnbull back to Connors, into the left circles. Vanisheva lays a hit. Channel Watkins, and the crowd taking exception to that.
Oh, that's her game. When she's on her game, that's exactly what she's doing.
Vanisheva, as mentioned, did play in the first battle on Bay Street with Montreal and had a penalty in that game. She's yet to score on this ice. You know, she's feeling a bit of pressure to get going.
And just a reminder, she did used to play for Montreal. Seems like a long time ago.
Before Ottawa. Greco. It's down, brings the action over to the near side. Bard at the blue line. Clara Van Wieren settles it down. Under 9 minutes left here in the opening frame. A fast first period. Van Wieren in the neutral zone. Spooner looking to get up, set up net front, but Maschmeyer will make the save. A good penalty kill for the home team, but Vancouver already laying the boom here at the battle on Bay Street.
He got emotional. He actually shed some tears while talking about coaching her and seeing her growth all the way up to the PWHL. And after he wiped away those tears, he looked right at myself, Daniela, and Becky and said, "You're not supposed to ask me feels questions." Sorry about that, Brian.
Special bond there. Right now, Toronto looking to open scoring here. Fast along the far point. But Jakes sending it ahead for Nurse, who lays a big hit. Here comes Michelle Carvinen. What a play by Shelton. to stop that breakaway.
Renata Fast steps up in the neutral zone, throws a big hit. Unfortunately, she didn't have any support in behind. That gives Vancouver their best opportunity so far of this game. Chip, there's that hit, but it's a nice little touch to the middle of the ice. Nobody's back to help support that. Harvinen, who's looking for her second goal. Ella Shelton gets back in an awful hurry, though.
So lots of players from other teams getting another go here in the battle on Bay Street. Flanagan from the point. Nash sends it into the near corner. Rosenthal and Jenna Watkins looking for the clean exit. A nice touch from McQuaid up to Boreen, but it's taken away by Dalton. She draws 3 Goldeneyes her way. Miscommunication sets up Van Weeren down to Harmon, shoots in the glove of Mashmeyer. Battle on Bay Street. Big home game for Toronto. They've won the last 2, looking to get back in the win column today.
Of course, some of the players that have helped them win are wearing other jerseys today. They're wearing the Vancouver jersey. Hannah Miller and Sarah Nurse both been pretty potent.
This has been a big day for PWHL fans, knowing that they're going to see the fan favorites in Hannah Miller and Sarah Nurse, of course, back in the lineup. Miller getting to work along the far wall for Vancouver. Gentry sends it back into the zone, and just as quick, puck in the neutral zone. Shelton plays it. Van Weeren in on the chase. Spooner stays up with. Spooner gets a hold of it. No power on that shot, and Mash will cover.
Now she takes a little bit of a hook on the hands, too, and I think she drew the call. Natalie Spooner is getting herself back into the middle of the ice again, so Toronto's going to go to the power play for the first time. She jumped to the middle of the ice. There's that stick. She's trying, working hard to try to get that shot off. Can't quite get it off. Izzy Daniel gives her a little hook.
So Izzy Daniel, former Sceptre. Toronto heads on this power play, brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel Paper Towel Comfort. Sends it to the far side. Shelton quarterbacking this unit. Looking for the angle. Fast collects it. Oh, kept off of it by Miller. So forced to come back into the neutral zone.
Hannah Miller's been a bit of a force to reckon with this game. She's using her size, winning battles.
Sceptres right now with the last ranked power play in the league. Just 2 power play goals. Watts has one of them. Shelton. Over to Harmon. She comes in. Goes across the blue paint. Pass from the near point. Watts working up the left side. We'll try one down Main Street, but it's blocked by Nurse and sent back.
I'd love to see them dish that puck off to the other flank. And Renata Fast is trying to get that shot through, but she's got an awful lot of Vancouver jerseys in the way. I think she feeds Ella Shelton. They maybe have a better opportunity.
Flanagan sets up this breakout. A minute left in this power play for Toronto. Connors finds Flanagan. Oh my. And it's just wide from the defender. Connors gets the puck back for Toronto. Turnbull works it to the near side. Malte up to Flanagan once more. To Malte. And then Malte shoots. Oh my! The rebound was there. Connors did get a touch on it. Malte will try another one net front. Oh my! It's kept out again. Connors in and around the net, or rather around but not in just yet. Flanagan pulls up. There's the shot. Harmon. 13 seconds remaining on this power play. Turnbull to Flanagan at the point. Back to Malte. Left circle across to Turnbull. Good block. Sends the puck up high. Malte keeps it in the zone. 3 shots on that power play, but out comes Izzy Daniel. So back to even strength. Still in the zone. Malte didn't quite get the power she needed on that shot either.
Well, the better of their looks came from that second unit. Emma Malte, who did some nice work off that side.
Under 5 minutes remaining in the opening frame, and watch out, Sophie Jakes off the bench, brings it in, shoots, kick save, and oh my, another one, Kirk. So both goaltenders having a little bit of trouble with those rebounds.
She has been bringing it from the back end, and those shots on goal.
His 6 career points against Toronto in the regular season. Total of 9 over 2 playoff runs against the Sceptres with Minnesota. How come Toronto is... Shelton throws it on net. Dalton setting up in front of the crease. Now we're not a fact. Back to Shelton. Gets the pad of Maschmeyer.
That's the pass I wanted to see.
Connor's pass picked off as Miller tries to poke it ahead. Jakes can't corral it. Another chance for Toronto. Turnbull gets a piece of the pipe. Oh, goodness! They are having chances, and Dalton was set up.
Well, they just needed to get it to the far side of the crease.
Dalton throws a tire. Still, Vancouver looking to get out of their own zone. It'll be Daniel who flips it up high to get over. 3:45 left here in the first period. As Sarah Nurse has room. Nurse, a little 2-on-1 developing, but not fast enough. She does fire a shot on angle.
Nice move, though. She came in, a little deception. Turns, protects the puck, and then brings it back.
This is a player who has missed 11 games. She missed 9 last season as well with the Sceptres dealing with an injury. So there's also going to be a bit of getting back to the pace of play and the physicality.
Nothing replicates being in a game, no matter what kind of training you do or practicing you do.
Zanin on her own as the Sceptres go for a change. Shelbin drops it back as in comes Watts and Comfort.
That's a good read from Shelbin to jump in and keep that puck alive. She came off the bench as a D.
Daryl Watts makes the play for Malte, who goes for the dive. That would have been something at the puck connected.
Well, it would have been. That would have been a Bobby Orr if she'd have connected with that and put it in the net. She certainly went flying through the air. Vanisheva back to the penalty box. That's her second of the game. And she's going to go for a trip this time around. Emma Malte comes blasting in to the slot to try to get a hold of that puck. Vanisheva gets 1 whack, 2 whacks, and a body on her.
So we'll have our third penalty of the game, resulting in the second power play opportunity here for the Sceptres, brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel Paper Towel. Comfort on the right side has Watts down low. Shelton, top of the circle, looking for the tip-in from Comfort as Comfort gets into it with Jana Watkins. We're in the last minute of play, 8 seconds remaining on this power play, and Vanisheva, of course, jump right in the action. Connors to Van Weeren, it's just wide. 5 shots on that power play for the Sceptres, and still no goal.
Starts to look more like a power play that they're turning around. They haven't looked very good on it over the last few games, and that one looked a lot better. Again, that was the second unit with the really good looks.
The shots in this period are outrageous, 20-4 right now, and still no goal. Vancouver looking to break things open here as they're in Toronto territory. 20 seconds remaining. Greco to the far corner. Spooner there first. Play it safe as Van Weeren. Pressure from Vanisheva. A good backhand into the neutral zone from Gentry, who also takes a little bit of physical play as the final seconds wind down. No goals through 20 minutes, but how about 20 shots to 4 for the Sceptres? An Olympic champion is here. Canadian Lori Dupree dropped the ceremonial puck, and she'll also join Rob live. That's all coming up in the first intermission. Still without a goal in this game. Scoring chances as well, 7-3. Vancouver, definitely a physical team. We saw some big hits from Teresa Vanisheva, and also the blocked shots. That tells a story as well.
Well, it tells a story that they've been dominated. They've been in their own zone. But how about the face-off wins for Toronto?
All smiles from the captain. Both teams know what they need to do here in the second period.
I think Troy Ryan and I are on the same page. You get enough shots, you're going to put one in. You got to put one in, don't you?
And as for the Goldeneyes, what a gift to only have 4 shots but not allow a goal. Here comes Jessie Comfort. She's just wide to the left. Malte at the half wall. Turns it down, fast comes in. They look to keep the puck in the zone. Nurse has other plans with a feed to Venisheva. They set up a 2-on-2. Venisheva to Karvinen. And now another chance, 33. Sophie Jakes scoots in, puts it on an angle, and there's a shot from Nurse, but Kirk sealed the post.
This line should be dominant, I feel, this Hannah Miller line. They should be doing more damage than they've done.
Well, they're able to get the faceoff win yet again. Stick side of Kirk gets sent to the other wall. Jakes and Daniel. Daniel, her shot blocked by Turnbull. She floats it into the slot, has Flanagan to help, and the Sceptres get on the move.
Oh, you talk about a good breakout. Blair Turnbull just pops that puck to the middle of the ice, and she knows that that's the open space. She gets it to her defender, and then they get out.
Calm and composed. Thompson.
You got to be pretty composed if you want to make that play to the middle, because it's got to be on, otherwise it's in your net.
Nice stretch feed for Daniel, but Gentry got there first. Daniel goes off for the change, and for Vancouver, it's not just another goalless period. It's now been 4 straight. Gentry, the great shot, no look. Blair can send it back down for the rookie. Van Wieren stays with Job Smith. Rosenthal pulls it off the wall. Zanin fires it into the near corner. Gives some space for Renata Fast, although she draws about 3 Goldeneyes her way. Brooke McQuigg, a forward who's carrying way more hits than shots in this season. Fast shields, gets it into the neutral zone. And Kiara Zanin doing all she can. Brings it into the zone anyhow.
I like the effort. I like that second effort to dive and try to get a hold of the puck. She just swing and a miss.
Renata Fast, once again, uses the wall. Has Emma Woods. Woods pass taken away by Karvinen. Karvinen is the most recent Vancouver player to score. She got a third period goal in Ottawa, and then of course they were without a goal in Quebec City last weekend.
Karvinen's another player with tons of IQ, and I think if they can start to find some chemistry, she can do a lot more than what we've seen from her so far.
Sarah Nurse brings it through the middle, carries it over the blue line, takes the shot on Kirk. Saved.
Chances at either end of the ice, and Toronto, Emma Gentry, who's able to walk to the middle, and this is a line that has some intrigue to it. It's a new line, 3 bigger players, 5'11", 5'10", 5'10", so to see that line use their size, push the D back, and either take that middle ice, like Gentry just did, or look for that wide drive.
Another left circle offensive zone draw, and Vancouver is able to gain possession slightly as out come the Sceptres. Malte drops it for comfort. She's bothered off on the post, gets another chance here. Harmon sets up from distance, looking for the redirect. Comfort. In comes Malte, settling it down. Plays it the right circle for Watts, off the boards, has Malte, but still under heavy pressure. Nurse with her. Comfort trying to get ahead of Bell. She sends it back. Plenty of perimeter play. Now Watts. Great move to keep it in zone. Not quite. As the Sceptres go for a change, Nurse opts to dump and change herself.
That's a smart dump in. She just waited and delayed till she had reinforcements.
Fast, check that Turnbull. It's off her skate. So Daniel now to Thompson. Back to Izzy Daniels. She comes in. Left circle on the slot. Stopped by Kirk. Come break the ice.
One of the players that's looking more status quo in terms of her point production as you start to go through the forwards with Vancouver and how many of them, their production is down. Could use someone to pop out and be a bit of a hero.
Had her rookie campaign with the New York Sirens last season. Another offside there, still awaiting the first goal in the 3rd edition of the Battle on Bay Street inside Scotiabank Arena.
This is what happens when you're warming up in the bowels of these arenas. Back in my day, though, nobody had cameras, so we didn't get caught.
Just destroying property back there, Becky Keller.
Oh, you never know. Warm-ups sometimes get they get a little tough.
Get a little dangerous right now. The Sceptres going to get going. Malte brings it in. Right now, Toronto being outshot. 5-1 in the middle frame.
Out face-off as well, so Vancouver's made a few changes.
Adapting to what was a Sceptres-heavy first period, but we have another power play on the way, a hooking call.
Ashton Bell stepped out front of the net, and it looks like she got a stick up in the hands as she was about to lose the puck, so Toronto is going back to the box.
2 minutes hooking.
So Emma Malte this time, one of their best penalty killers as well. Ashton Bell steps out in front, and there's that stick. Malte chases her behind the net, but then gets that stick up and into the hands. As soon as you touch the hands, you're going to the penalty box. Disrupts the play, and so you're going to go sit down. And again, Toronto without one of their best PKers. She's had a couple times. She'll give the official an earful too. She's not afraid of that.
Wears her heart on her sleeve, and a great clear for the Sceptres. This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel Paper Towel. Power through tough messes. Second power play of the game for Vancouver. Fourth overall, as there were 3 in the first period.
On another power play that hasn't been very good, only at 10%, and it boggles my mind when you look at the personnel they have, and they got 2 solid power play quarterbacks, one on each unit in Jakes and Thompson. They've got some firepower up front.
Yeah, and they each have a power play goal. In comes Izzy Daniel. The nice feed for Boreen.
I think she had the shot there. I think she's going to wish she took that shot.
Boreen is the only forward so far with a power play goal for the Goldeneyes. Daniel to Jakes. Oh my, stays out of the net. Dalton retrieves and sends it down.
Well, and you'd especially think they'd have more power play goals with their D able to get pucks through, and someone like Abby Boreen net front, because she is very good there.
Nurse brings it in along the near side. Pass comes up to player. Bell from the far wall to Venisheva. Thompson patient. For her lane. Venisheva's one-timer. It's blocked. Harvinen sets up at the near point here.
She's got no support. Nobody's coming in to help that out. You know, Brian Nadolski talked about that on their forecheck, that they've got to get second players in to help out a little quicker, but I'm going to say all over the ice at times. Right there, you've got to have someone coming in and recognizing you're in a battle.
10 seconds to go here. 5-on-4 for the Goldeneyes to open scoring. Can they get something through on special teams? Nurse. No shots on that power play, but it's still in the zone for Vancouver. Miller checked that. Karvinen doing all she can. Send it around. Rosenthal quick off the bench. Venisheva now in the far corner. Her pass goes up high over Karvinen. It gives the Scepter some room to move. Daryl Watts to Malte. Sends it down for Watts. Comfort. On the doorstep, Comfort going for the change. Michelle Vin. Just a pinch. Beautiful cross-ice feed. Finds Van Wieren. A feed that could have easily been picked off. There is a loose glove on the ice as well. Jana Watkins pops it back. Nina Jobe-Smith. The puck on the stick of Gentry. Gives room enough for McQuaig, and a big pass for Michaela Cava. Cava comes in the glove of Kirk. Oh, what a collision. Van Wieren goes down. She was playing the puck. A penalty will be on the way, but right now, Clara Van Wieren.
I wouldn't be surprised if they review this one. Looked a lot like that Abby Rock hit, and she was suspended for a game, so now they got to look and see what kind of intent. Tana Miller comes across playing the puck, so similar to the Abby Rock hit, but maybe not so much.
After review, Vancouver number 34 has 2 minutes for head contact.
And there you have it. Hannah Miller will stay in the game 2 minutes or less. An open scoring. Shelton to Comfort. Down for Watts. Both teams have now been at their bench for several minutes. Coming into this power play, Comfer again. First to turn back, Shelton. From distance, Spooner. Trying to get the tip in Spooner. On the wall, has fast at the far point. The puck pops into the neutral zone. This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Paper towel, power through tough messes. Third power play of the game. Comfort with the feed, denied by Mashmeyer.
They caught Vancouver on a change.
Jakes.
I'm not sure why Vancouver was trying to change there. I mean, really in the second period with that far change, you've got to get the puck all the way down the ice. Toronto attacked with a quick 3-on-1.
Emrance Mashmeyer up to the task. Malte chips it ahead. Turnbull looks back. Channel Watkins is on her. Connors. And along the near wall, Harmon back to Connors. She looks for a lane. Brings it in. That shot, it's popped up in the blue paint. And Mashmeyer covers.
Well, another one, just throw it to the net, but once again, they're not getting a stick on that. The best chance of this power play so far has come off of a bad line change for Vancouver. Toronto's just got that puck in the neutral zone. You see a whole pile of Vancouver players go to the bench. There's a quick 3-on-1. Channel Watkins is coming off the bench to try to close this gap and take away that chance.
Turnbull at the dot. Toronto power play. 40 seconds remaining. The puck goes all the way out to Kirk. 35 seconds remaining. Turnbull. Looking up, Toronto has open scoring in the battle on Bay Street the last 2 seasons. Malte! No pass to Spooner, goes to Harmon instead. Flanagan at the point, back to Malte. To Flanagan, patient. In the circle, off the skate of Connors. 10 seconds to go. Flanagan fires. Rebound. Touch by Malte. Now to Harmon. And we are back into even strength. Malte gonna feed it through for Connors. Stopped by Mashmeyer. And another good penalty kill for Vancouver. And that gives Hannah Miller all kinds of space on Regan Kirk. Denied by Kirk.
Couldn't get that puck to sit down. Well, you knew Hannah Miller wanted to get her opportunity, wanted to show something to her coach. She goes in all alone, bouncing puck. Kirk makes the save.
Good news for the Sceptres, not only another power play, but Clara Van Wieren is back on the bench. Had a bit of a cut on her nose, but she's passed concussion protocol. That was what the original concern was during the review, is that hit on Van Wieren, and she is back on the bench. This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Paper towel, power through tough messes. Fourth chance on the player advantage. Harmon! And it was Connors net front, and Malte to Turnbull. Turnbull looking for a way in. Now Harmon shoots and scores! With the first goal in the third battle on Bay Street, her first of the season.
Oh my goodness. How many opportunities did they need? They finally put one away, and Savannah Harmon, it's the second unit. Again, this second unit has been good. They got the start on this penalty, and I gotta think for a reason, because they've had the better looks, and Harmon, who blasts out one top shelf, and she's been good for this team, look flying under the radar. She puts her team up 1-0 on a power play goal, a much-needed power play goal, and what I got to think was a screen to Emrance Mashmeyer.
Savannah Harmon's. You have to think back. She was part of the 3-on-3 PWHL Showcase NHL All-Star Weekend in this building, and she had a hat trick. Becky Keller in that one.
Right, she couldn't miss that day. Well, she didn't miss today either.
It was a big one on the power play. Right now, Vancouver looking to respond. And they find the back of the net. Just like that, it's a tie game. From the point, Nina Jobe-Smith.
Well, that'll be her first point of her career.
But it's Sarah Nurse
You have got to be kidding me. All that work for Toronto to take the 1-goal lead, and who burns them comes right back down the ice and gets a goal. But Sarah Nurse, she's been good in this building, and she likes the big moment.
Welcome back, Sarah Nurse.
Oh, pretty impressive. She played 2 games. She's got 2 goals. This is a point shot again. Nina Job-Smith puts that puck to net. Sarah Nurse gets a tip on it. And the 2 players that were not in the lineup, there's your trivia question. Which 2 players were not in the lineup for this team for the bulk of the season, while they're the 2 that just set up that goal?
Right now, Toronto looking to get back to a lead. They only held for 29 seconds. And while that Sarah Nurse goal ended a goalless streak of 94 minutes, 14 seconds for Vancouver as they were shut out in their last game. Spooner, the feed from Gentry, he brings it around. 5 minutes to go with Savannah Harmon on the power play that opened scoring here in the second period. Harmon has the puck again. That was Harmon's first regular season goal with Toronto. Traded from Ottawa just before the new year, December 30th of 2024. Now, bouncy puck. Jakes has it. She did score in playoffs for Toronto, so she has a goal as a Sceptre. But it's been a while since she's found the back of the net in the regular season. 53 regular season games, in fact.
Well, she is an offensive defender, so she's got that in her.
Harvinen to Nurse as she puts it down. And it figures that one of the best Sceptre scorers. She had 23 points in 24 games year one. Of course, she was playing with Natalie Spooner, who led the way as forward of the year at that point. Maureen, loved by Kirk.
Abby Maureen gets the puck to the middle of the ice, and if she gets in too tight, she can do some damage. She rips this one off. Reagan Kirk makes a save, holds on to the rebound. Both these 2 teams now right back to where they started at a 1-1 game.
Neutral zone draw, and Renata Fast will pounce on it. Fast fires another chance off the rebound. Dalton looking to send it 5-hole. There, Thompson weaving through. Shelton stays with her.
Fast got the shot off and a rebound. Mashmeyer made about 3 saves on that flurry.
And that was the speed we've seen from number 14. Now Ella Shelton brings it in, takes the shot.
Mashmeyer again, she eats that one up to make sure that there's no rebound. And Renata Fast, there's not too many in the league that are going to catch her. If she gets a step on them, Sophie Jakes is trying to, but if Fast gets a step on her and is able to take that one to the net, gets a rebound chance, a whack at that rebound, then again, there's another rebound and another. So I was wrong, that's 4 saves.
Now from the point, Karvinen. They pull it off the wall. Fast to Van Wieren. Shelton, another chance here as Vancouver comes in. Karvinen. A hard shot now, Nurse. Looking to retrieve along with Venisheva. The Sceptres trying to break out Spooner. A turnover, Jakes. Pause that.
Jakes with a good gap through the neutral zone. You read that pass, just stepped right up on it.
Miller got her stick on it. Gardner. Thompson can't hold the blue line. Jakes. And so as we approach this final minute of the second period, Goldeneyes have really taken control here.
Last minute of play in the second period.
Turnbull now with 4 assists on the season after helping Harmon on the power play. Boreen to Bell. That pass ends up on the stick of Turnbull up to Connors. Connors patient but blocked in close by Channel Watkins.
Turnbull went indirect on that pass. I think she could have fed that right through the middle of the ice. And then they would have been in business. As soon as she had to bank that puck, that just gave Vancouver an opportunity to get back and take away the scoring chance.
20 seconds to go here in the second period.
Toronto just a little disconnected.
13-10 for the Goldeneyes in this frame. They have a chance to get another one off here. Jakes! It bounces wide. Reflects off those bodies in front. Karvinen caught up with Turnbull. 3 seconds to go. Maschmeyer will watch it sail by and give her team points. 7 of the second.
Toronto has been very successful in this building, but it's been on the backs of a Hannah Miller and a Sarah Nurse, so who's going to do it for them today?
And there's the buzzer as mentioned, so we'll leave this one 1-1 through 40 minutes. And they want to finish it in 60. It's worth 3 points in the standings. Coming up in the second intermission, Rob Pizzo will be joined by Sceptres goal scorer Savannah Harmon on the power play. It's 1-1 here at Scotiabank Arena. Sceptres still managed 10 shots in that second period despite the Goldeneyes adding even more. They had 13. They came in with just 4 shots to start the middle frame, scoring chances. Also, Sceptres with the edge. Toronto wins the first face-off here in the third period. Back behind the net of Maschmeyer, but Malte's feed to the middle. Gets shoveled out by Karvinen. Shelton and Fast looking to get to work. Up for Malte. She puts it in the far corner. Jessie Comfer turns and fires. Shelton off the wall. Brings it to the high, near the point. Across this time. It's a piece of Maschmeyer. Shelton looking for room on the left side. Below the goal line now. Up for Malte. And what a turn and fire from Daryl Watts.
Well, there's the player you don't want to have the puck in that position.
Watts again. Manages to make contact right in front of Maschmeyer from distance this time. And Maschmeyer corrals and covers.
She kind of bobbled that one a little bit. Nobody was home to put it away. Toronto with the zone time right now. They're getting some decent looks, putting pucks on the net. This one just doesn't quite connect, but then Daryl Watts is able to turn and fire. And you look at this Toronto team, and if there's one natural goal scorer in this group, it is 100% Daryl Watts. If she's scoring, they seem to be succeeding, but if teams can hold her off the sheet, that's when Toronto has had some struggles as well. She seems to have to score almost every game.
She absolutely wants to. Of course, she was on a good little streak, and then that ended, and Toronto on a 4-game skid. And that means that they went from the top of the standings, really within a win of second place, to now 6th place. Vancouver's well at the bottom. They need to start climbing their way out. Thompson loses an edge. Boreen in to help. In the Sceptre zone, McQuigg from Bowmanville, Ontario to Thompson.
I would imagine she's got some people here as well. There's so many players.
Lots of returning, not only former Sceptres, but players from this area. Spooner shakes off Jakes, who's from Toronto. Van Weeren and Gentry tries to make good for blocking Van Weeren's shot, or at least trying to pull away with it. Gentry turns and fires, gloved by Maschmeyer. Job Smith, who picked up her first PWHL point, assisting Nurse's goal. She brings the puck out. It's just her 3rd PWHL game. Miller. And Daniel there. Daniel comes in.
Clear cut 2-on-1.
Far to Job Smith. Down for Miller again. It's Job Smith, patient. Job Smith from North Vancouver, BC. She'll look forward to their next game, which is at home against Toronto. They have a home and home, but the Sceptres do have one more game before that, Tuesday night in Seattle.
Wow, that's how you build a rivalry. Play each other twice in a week.
Spooner trying to keep it in the zone. Chalmerson gets ahead of Karvinen, but only slightly. A penalty drawn, though. Tripping call.
Okay, they take another.
Vancouver number 33, minor penalty, tripping.
Just Sarah Jalmerson through the neutral zone. She gets taken down by Carvin, and she takes off with a head of steam. There's that stick, just kind of gets wrapped up in her. I'm not so sure Jalmerson wasn't kind of falling on her own. However, the stick there just kind of looked like a smoking gun a bit.
And so the Sceptres could get the go-ahead as they did the first goal on the power play. Malte
starting this unit again.
Brings it in. Down for Turnbull. Patient. Connors on the doorstep. Flanagan walks the line. Over to Harman. Her feed disrupted by Nurse, who had a stick in the lane. Turnbull picked up an assist on Harman's power play marker. Flanagan at the wall, sent around. They're keeping this penalty unit on longer than that, as Venisheva is just out of reach to clear the zone. Harman to Malte. This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Paper towel, as a good touch from Venisheva does send it back into the Toronto end.
Well, that unit was keeping things simple initially, and that's where they were having success. They were trying to force passes.
Abby Boreen, she'll try to turn something into nothing. Gardner with the only shorthanded jailbreak so far for Vancouver. That could have been something from Abby Boreen. Fast to Comfort, she throws it back. Shelton gets set up, 40 seconds remaining on this power play. And Daryl Watts comes in, shoots in the glove of Mashmeyer.
Well, we've seen her be dangerous from that spot before. She puts that one low, just into the pad, but just high enough that Mashmeyer can get a glove on it. The chip over to Watts. She's able to skate right in with it. Mashmeyer wasn't quite sure at first where that was.
Daryl Watts has one assist in this building. She'd love a goal, too. For the last 6 games, 3 goals. The rest of the team had scored 4. From the point, Shelton to Comfort. They try to stay organized. Good backhand.
That might be
shovel it out from Boreen.
Stay organized. They look a little disorganized.
15 seconds to go. 5 on 4. Shelton turns and fires once more. Comfort nearly had the rebound. Harvinen about to step out. Still Sceptres puck. Shelton and off the bench trying to cut through. 2 shots on that power play. As Spooner looks to tuck it home.
Now there's a Spooner special. Take it out, force it to the net.
This is Spooner's just 2nd battle on Bay Street. She was still recovering from an ACL injury and surgery this time last season.
A couple chances on this last flurry of activity.
But this is the last home game for the Sceptres before the Olympic break. That's why there's such a long stretch.
Well, of course, they've been out of Coca-Cola Coliseum because of the boat show.
Dalton down to Turnbull, looking back for Connors. Hartman tries to get her stick on it. Going to get a step ahead is Venisheva. She's on her own, though. Venisheva. A loose puck, kept out. Carvinen fires, it's still alive. Kirk making all kinds of saves, getting a big crowd reaction for that one.
Oh, that might have been the best chance Vancouver's had since their goal.
Shots 38 to 18, and Michelle Carvinen comes in once more. Renata Fast breaks up the play. We think back to that first great play by Ella Shelton earlier in this game to stop a breakaway, and Renata Fast thought she had the jump on it. It's offside.
I'll tell you what, you got to get that shot off just a little bit faster than Carvinen did. As she walks in all alone, but Renata Fast is able to get back just in time. Reagan Kirk with the save. Always got to give a shout out to the Burlington girls. There's a lot of them in this game.
You're one of them. All right, Renata Fast to Ella Shelton. Toronto. It's a deep Channel Watkins. Thought she had fired it out. Channel Watkins, who never played for the Sceptres, but was originally drafted by Toronto in the PWHL. She was taken off waivers by Minnesota, so the rest is history. Never actually played here. Watts to Comfort. She is to bring it in. Nurse in the middle of the ice, trying to take it away from Fast. Fast turn back. Puts it over to Watts, just out of reach.
She just lost the handle on that puck.
Kirk will play it. Over for Shelvin. Thompson patient. Send it down again this time. Kirk plays it, but Boreen getting dangerously close. Rosenthal now with Thompson. As the Goldeneyes get on the move. Turnbull. Looking for help. Uses the end wall. Thompson under pressure. Baskin tries a reversal. The rookie defender's pass. Oh, picked up again by Connors. The intended target, it is offside.
You wonder if this game's going to just heat up a little bit. And in the last face-off, we had Emma Malte, one of the biggest pests in the league, and Teresa Benisheva, one of the other biggest pests in the league, get into it a little bit. Malte takes Benisheva down, and then they stand up. They go toe-to-toe for a minute, have some words. A little bit of a bump, nothing too major. We know Benisheva dropped the glove. Well, didn't drop the gloves, but she got in a fight last year, gloves on, so she's not afraid to get into it.
I think for your sake, you'd also like things to actually heat up, holding your hand warmers there, Becky Keller. Gotta stay warm in the booth.
Gotta stay
point.
warm.
Job Smith, now Bard. They keep it in zone. Izzy Daniel pulls it off the wall over to Job Smith. On the right side, Miller had Gardner. Van Wieren.
If she put that on Gardner's tape, they might have had something.
You could have said the same about those Toronto chances early in this game as well. They were buzzing around the blue paint. Spooner gets it below the goal line, but looking for that support. Miller works it around Shelton. To Fast. Plays it ahead for Shelton. Along the left side. Oh my, Kiara Zanin.
Just a little too slow to make that play. I think if Shelton had dished that a little earlier.
Malte. And to feed it to come for under 8 minutes to go in regulation. Shelton over to Fast in the middle of the ice. Loose puck. Daryl Watts gives it back to Shelton. Watts under pressure again. Jakes. Former Sceptre Izzy Daniel comes in.
They got to find the middle of the ice right now. They're just banging pucks back and forth, up and down the wall.
A board battle. And Toronto has also struggled in extra time this season. Not to jump too far ahead, as there is still over 7 minutes remaining. This is one they're going to want to put away in 60. Van Wieren. Linear wall. Jakes has to send it into Toronto's end.
That's not a bad idea. Just fire it in on net.
Spooner. Pressed up by Thompson. Battle for the loose puck. Van Wieren. So down, in comes Emma Gentry. The Goldeneyes. Off the stick of Brooke McQuigg. Boreen. Those two played for the Minnesota Frost. Or check that. No, it was Boreen who played for the Minnesota Frost year one. McQuigg, of course, has a rookie season with the Frost. They both, though, have a Walter Cup. Rosenthal to Sydney Bard. Shelbin was to match her step for step. Ina Job Smith still manages to keep the puck below the goal line.
Well, it feels right now like both teams are playing for that tie. They want to go to overtime when you think they'd be pressing for that 3 points and get the regulation win, but puck blocks along the wall. Nobody taking any chances.
Under 6 minutes to go. Kirk covers. And inside Scotiabank Arena, it's announced 17,856 fans in the building for this third battle on Bay Street. The vibes are still high as we're a tie game here, under 6 minutes to go. Toronto has never trailed in a battle on Bay Street. Could Vancouver be the first team to do that? Carvinen turns and shoots, far side. Watts to Comfort. Valenciano Watkins, now Venisheva. Malte. Losing them to the outside once again. Channel Watkins to Venisheva. What a shot from Gardner. The one-timer. Kirk gets a piece of it. Now Venisheva again. Gardner. Up to Jakes, looking for the go-ahead. Across Jakes. It's blocked in front. Got one of her own. Thompson comes off the bench. Miller.
Well, just what we hadn't seen in some time, right? There was a nice zone entry from Vancouver, then a good point shot to try to create. So a couple plays where you're looking to create some offense as opposed to just dumping the puck in and playing it safe.
Well, this is it right here. 4.5 minutes left in this game, and Toronto, a team that struggled to score 5-on-5. It was a 6-on-5 goals. Their only one in Boston Wednesday, and then it was the power play marker by Harmon, who has the puck again. So can they get it done at even strength? Turnbull to the far corner. Home ice has not really been an advantage this season for this team.
No, it has not. They have not done well at Coca-Cola Coliseum. Maybe a different arena, different look now that they're here in Scotiabank. But yeah, they've had their struggles in Coca-Cola. It's going to be a busy February for a number of these players headed off to the Olympics. Of course, Sophie Jakes, one of those players from Vancouver. Jen Gardner, Ernst Maschmeyer at the back end. Venisheva, Michelle Carvinen, Nina Jobst-Smith. A little international flair from this Vancouver team. And from Toronto, a number of Canadians, and you get Sarah Hjalmarsson and Anna Shalbin, who were just announced to the roster as well for Team Sweden, one of the last teams to announce their roster. Anna Shalbin, the captain.
Oh, as Spooner at the feet of Van Wieren. Yeah, it's just Italy remains to officially release their roster, but it is expected that Sceptres reserve player Kristen Della Rovere will make that roster, so there might even be another name to add to that list. So right now, Toronto had the lead for all but 29 seconds, 3.5 minutes to go, looking to retake it. Fast. Fires. Spooner was there, but just too fast for the puck. Take the rebound back. Nurse will do it on her own.
Well, if you're going to shoot from a sharp angle, that's a shot you want. A number of times
Oh, my goodness. Nurse went right into the boards herself. That quieted the whole arena there, but out comes Comfort. Scott Spooner. Spooner shoots from the circle. Rebound not totally cleared. So Flanagan will get to it first, fires. Looking for a bit of redirect from Comfort. Watts tries to keep it in at the half wall, not quite. Far point, Boreen. As the Goldeneyes go for a change, approaching the final 2.5 minutes here. Tie game since the second period. Maschmeyer forced to cover.
Oh, there's a smart play. Shelton saw that Malte was breaking, just fires it all the way down the ice, so they gain that quick 200 feet. Toronto with a couple of chances in the last shift, and if you're going to shoot from a sharp angle, that's a shot you want. That sharp angle shot, you get it to pop right back out front. No one home in order to pick it up, and then Natalie Spooner throws this one on net. Jessie Comfort's right there. Just can't get stick on it. It's the theme right now.
Fast to Harmon. And Turnbull. Down for Connors. Miller was with her. Gardner gets it back into the neutral zone. Fast on the chase. Ahead of Izzy Daniel. Watch out! That was almost a giveaway. And there's a hard fire shot from Hannah Miller.
Well, there's a turnover that led to a fantastic scoring chance for Vancouver. Fast and Shelton maybe just crossed up their communication. Fast looks for the quick reverse. Shelton's under pressure. She's covered. Vancouver gets that puck back out front. It's a really nice scoring chance, which once again can't bury it.
It's a big face-off win here for the Goldeneyes. The offensive zone. Gardner, gloved by Kirk, as we're just now under 2 minutes left in the third.
Jen Gardner's a player that, we saw last year that if she really can produce off to a slow start. Of course, she's playing on the line last year with Poulin and Stacy, so a little bit easier maybe to find herself on the score. She gets that chance, turns and fires. Izzy Daniel right there. Can't get herself out of coverage.
Mashmeyer on the other end of the ice with 41 saves. Kirk has faced 22 shots. Sceptres trying to get out of their own zone. Comfort. And the road ahead for Toronto is not a nice one, considering Tuesday night they're in Seattle and Thursday back again facing the Goldeneyes. So very little rest as they head to the West Coast. But right now, heading in the Vancouver zone is Comfort with Monte. Nurse takes the puck away, a good poke from Watts. Not enough to keep it in the zone as Venisheva tries to slide ahead. Ella Shelton. Toronto looking for the go-ahead. Trying to stay onside.
Toronto going to reset here and have a little conversation about what they want off this face-off. Blair Turnbull talking to her D.
Goldeneyes take control off the draw. And here they come. Hannah Miller crashes towards the net. Vancouver Bell to Channel Watkins. Watkins fires. Rebound still loose. They whistle it.
Reagan Kirk with a couple of nice saves and a desperation play at the end to make sure she gets a glove on this puck as Vancouver comes through. Just quick transition. Now they're on 2-on-1. That puck was not on Hannah Miller's tape. She still managed to kick it up to the stick.
55.2 seconds remaining. It's Miller and Comfort. Sceptres in the face-off in their own zone and look to get it ahead. Watts having eyes for Malte. Shovels the puck back. Deep in the Vancouver zone, but just like that, Bell reverses for Miller, and now Hannah Miller can come in with speed. Takes it all the way herself. Flanagan battling for the puck. Off the near wall, 22 seconds to go. It's 1-1. Maureen. Rosenthal along the wall. Maureen trying to play to the middle. Thompson, 6 seconds to go. Dangerous. As 1 second remains and a big save from Kirk as this game, the third battle on Bay Street, is headed to overtime.
You missed 29 seconds of this game. You missed just about everything. Sarah Nurse back in the lineup as she gets the tying goal. Toronto who opens things up. It's a power play goal. It's Savannah Harmon just outside of the dot, or just inside of the dot. She's able to snipe this one top shelf. She's had a few chances this game. 29 seconds later, there's the tip. Job Smith with the point shot. Sarah Nurse back in the lineup with the tip on goal. And that's where things stand. You gotta win them. So they don't count for a whole lot until you put them in the win column, but it is an opportunity there for Seattle if they're looking at the standings to go, hey, you know what, we can really make our way up. If they were able to take those 3 games and get 3 points out of them, they jump way up the standings.
Get ready, 3-on-3 overtime. Now underway, a 5-minute period. If it's undecided after that, we'll head to a shootout. Claire Thompson, Sarah Nurse. Nurse who had 2 overtime game winners with the Sceptres in the inaugural season. Jen Gardner. Possession is of the utmost importance here with all this ice. Icing will be the call to bring it back to the Vancouver zone.
Well, just a little off the tape right now, and Vancouver with an opportunity to move the puck early on in this sequence. They don't. Then they come back. They're looking to make a play to the player stretching across the blue line, Sarah Nurse. I think there's a simpler way, though, to get into the zone.
Comfer at the dot. Shelton along the blue line over to Daryl Watts. Watts shoots off the pad. Shelton tries to fly in and grab the rebound. Comfer opts to get back as Gardner plays it over to Thompson. Back to Gardner now. She looks for the middle. It's wide in the netting, and this will be the closest battle on Bay Street, as first year was a 3-goal difference and then 2 goals last year.
Looked like maybe this one was ending. One goes off the beam. Toronto with a chance. They win this face-off off the icing. Throw this one on net. Again, there's the rebound. Just can't pick it up. Have I said that line before? There's the rebound. Can't pick it up. And then there's one off the bar. Now that we haven't actually seen in this game.
Oh, an important win, though. And Jake spans on the shot. She would have had the space, too. Fast. Who has scored an OT game winner in her career as well. In comes Claire Dalton getting some time 3-on-3. Dalton, oh, but Fast gets tangled up. Dalton brings it all the way around over to Fast. Across now for Turnbull. Turnbull looking for room, but Izzy Daniel in step with the captain. On the far wall. Dalton to Flanagan as she goes in for a change. Emma Malte is out. Careful with these passes as Miller stayed up with them. She goes for the change for Vancouver. Natalie Spooner brings it in. It was a 2-on-1 developing. Great play by Sophie Jakes to take away that option. Malte to Flanagan. They retreat back to the neutral zone here. Renisheva for Vancouver on the ice. Spooner. Wait. To Shelton. Mashmeyer, by the way, has reached that career-high saves. She's faced some shots here, and Daryl Watts brings it in. Watts trying to end it. It's kept up by Mashmeyer. Watts gets the puck back again. Number 9 looks, turns, fires, scores! The battle on Bay Street belongs to Toronto! Daryl Watts, the hero in overtime, as the Sceptres defeat the Vancouver Goldeneyes 2-1 to go 3-0 inside Scotiabank Arena.
You wanted to know who was going to be the hero, and there's really no shock that it was Daryl Watts. Head up as she comes into the zone. She waits, she's patient, she takes that puck to the net. Okay, that doesn't work. Well, let's regroup and try again. There's the patience again. She makes sure she finds that shot lane, and then when she does, she puts it in the net. And it's a goal scorer's goal from Toronto's leading scorer.
Started with Savannah Harmon's power play goal. 29 seconds later, equalized by former Sceptre Sarah Nurse in her return. And the eventual game winner happened in overtime from Daryl Watts. Reagan Kirk with 23 saves. Thanks for watching the Battle on Bay Street. For Becky Keller, Rob Pizzo, our entire production crew, and the PWHL, I'm Daniela Ponticelli, signing off from Toronto.